What's up, guys? Garrett here again. In this video, I wanted to go over kind of all of how I track everything, all of my book purchases, all my book sales, all my expenses, and everything. A couple videos ago, I went over, my tools and like I was trying to make how I was trying to make room for BookMine and whatnot. Trying to figure out how I can fit it in by eliminating some expenses and reducing some other expenses and stuff like that. So let's hop in the computer and I'll kind of go over that. So first and foremost, I use Sellerboard to track all my expenses. So there will be a link in the description if you would like to start a subscription. And this is how I track most of my expenses and my sales. That's the main thing that Sellerboard is used by me, at least, for. It does a really good job. It is time consuming and tedious to do that with book selling. However, it's kind of a necessary evil. It'll tell you everything. It'll tell you what you made in sales that day, what you made in profit, what you should receive in your bank account. That way you can kind of predict what you're going to do. And then how I track all my purchases is over here on this Google spreadsheet. This over here, the one with the little tan coloring over here, this is all from Joji Davenport's course. You can go check that out at his channel. But this is kind of an add-on, and then this over here where it's green and white, this is all that's kind of being fed in from Seller Amp. Seller Amp, if you can come over here and you can set it up to where Seller Amp is also a paid subscription. If you didn't know, it's like $20 some a month. But anyways, you can set it up to where Google Spreadsheets, so say I bought this right here and I wanted to put it on my Google Spreadsheet as I purchased it, I would click, for me, how I do it for my tags, I click Amazon because that's where I bought it, and then where I plan to sell it would be, since it's a CD for me, it would be FBM. So I would click this and this, and I'll just show you how it works. So we go down here at the bottom, because it's always going to populate the bottom. That way you keep track of your dates. But I click Amazon because I bought it there. FBM, because that's where I plan to sell it. And I'll click Media Purchased. And this is just the title of my spreadsheet. And then as you see, it'll pop up right here. It'll bring up the Amazon link right here, what you bought it for, because that's what you put in right here, and that'll auto populate right here. It'll put the ASIN on here, and then as you see my tags, it'll say right here and here. That way later on, if I'm ever wondering like, why the heck did I buy this, and it's like, oh, I bought it from Amazon, I can go on Amazon and check it out and then see why I bought it, because I plan on doing what I planned on doing with it. Anyways, bring this down. Gotta make it look good in here. Oh, there we go. But that's how I keep track of my purchases. And every time I get a sale, I obviously Sellerboard will record it, and I will come in here and I'll green it out. I'll put the date that I sold it. It'll tell me how many days it took, the sale price, and then what proceeds I got. And that's like all your, like, whatever you're getting deposited into your bank account. Like, don't minus out the cogs here or anything. I put in prep fee, which is $2.25 for me, and then I'll also throw in $1 in there just for miscellaneous, like any kind of supplies that you use. Like for me, it is literally just tape. With sometimes it's not even that, but sometimes there's fees that you don't think about. So throwing in $1 cushion is always kind of nice. So I've been kind of going back and forth trying to kind of figure out, there was a lot of stuff here that I had taken out, and the only thing I want to put in right here is the checked in. So anytime it checks into my prep center, I'll put in here with the date it checked in. That way I know that it's in there. if I have to return it or it gets canceled for some reason, I won't delete it completely. I want to keep record of the books that I tried to buy, at least, I don't want to completely delete it. I was deleting it there for a while, and then I ran into some issues where, number one, sometimes I've had some eBay issues where they'll say it's canceled, but it's not really canceled, and I actually end up getting it, and I'm just like, what's going on, so it's just easier for me to look back and see, well, I thought it was refunded, and then understand what's going on. But this checked in process is super important, because there's several times where I'll come back up here. I probably don't have any right now. But say this one's blank and everything else, and I bought it over a month ago, and I haven't received it yet. And then I can go in and look, and first I'll look at my prep center deal, and then I'll look at Amazon, see it hasn't been here, and then that will tell me okay, I haven't received it. I need to look into this. I need to, request a refund or see what's going on. But the checked in process is super huge for me, because I was losing a lot of money and I didn't realize it just by not receiving products, literally just not getting it. So that's definitely something that you want to kind of keep track of and understand how to keep track of it. So that's how I do it, is just check it in whenever I get it. It's definitely time consuming, not gonna lie, but it's definitely something that you need to do to keep track of everything. Let's see here. So that's how I keep track of all the books I've purchased, and then of course all the books I sold, I'll record it. And then this also keeps track of all the books you sold. Obviously, I know it, like I said to one person commenting on my YouTube videos, it is a little overkill. I'm not gonna say it's not, tracking it over here and over here. But the reason Sellerboard is more important to me to keep around, because it is a monthly subscription. I can't remember how much a month, but it's up there. Actually, I can find out right now. It's over here, expenses. Sellerboard. So it's $19 a month. It's really not a whole lot. But it's super important because of the expenses part. You could come here and add up all of your sales by just going down this, and then you can see the sum of it, and do that per month or something, and you can figure that out. But it doesn't tell you that minus the expenses. It doesn't tell you that minus your cogs. It doesn't tell you that. Well, it does sort of, but it's just a lot easier to see it in a snapshot. Last month, I know this is the money that's getting paid out to me. I know this is the profit that I made, and this is the sales that I made. I know exactly where I'm at with that, because this month is done. This month, I still have to add some expenses. I have to take some cogs out and stuff, but I know that I've finished this month. This month is done. And I know these are my numbers exactly. And in order to grow, you have to know your numbers. Know your numbers to a T, and you'll see your business growing. It takes some time, but if you know your numbers, you know where you're going. If you don't know your numbers, you have no idea where you're going, and you're just praying that you'll get somewhere. And this is the thing that helps me track it, is Sellerboard. So how I tracking expenses and everything on your business, I believe it takes two. I believe it takes this, doing the spreadsheet. Every single book you buy, every single book you sell, record it. Every time you get a book checked in, record it. Every time, record all of this, proceeds, sale price, everything. And then on top of that, come over here and record it over here. That way you can understand your exact numbers. You can't really get your exact numbers over here. I'm sure there's a way that you can do it, figure it out. But the problem is I'm lining every single book. And I just don't see it being easy, at least, to make it to where it's Sellerboard, where it breaks down everything. And it adds your expenses for every month, because not my expenses are different every month. Like this month, right now I'm on the 27th of the month, so I'm coming pretty close to the end. But right now I'm at $543 in expenses. Last month I was at $516. You know, like I said, I did some rearranging on some of the of my, gosh darn it, whatchamacallits, some of my tools. I added Bookmine, and I added GoToLister and stuff like that, and I took out some of these up here. So, you know, from the month to month it's different. Like look at this month, I was at 823. You know, and that's really important for you to understand, like where your expenses are. Like, why am I this high? Why am I at $823? And I can come up here and I can kind of look at it like, okay, well, I was really pumping Central Virginia Prep. I was really pumping some books out. So that's why it's a little higher. So that makes sense, because I had $138 Central Virginia Prep, $143 Central Virginia Prep, $99 Central Virginia Prep. So that's the reason why it's so high. It's just because I was pumping books hard that month. This month I think I slowed down a little bit. You know, don't have as big of costs, so I'm not pumping that bunch of books. But without this, I wouldn't know. I would just know that my credit card expense was, you know, that much higher, and that's not good. You need to understand where your expenses are, why your expenses are what they are, and then that way you can be like, well, is Central Virginia Prep worth it? You know, yes, it is. Short answer. But you have to decide that for your business. You know, you have to decide, like, can I afford a prep center? You know, really anybody can, but 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 you have to make those decisions for yourself. You have to go in there and understand your expenses and understand, you know, where your business is going. You know, is it growing? You have to know. You have to be in positives. You have to be in positive month to month to month. If you're not in a positive month to month to month, you need to figure out how you can get to the positives. Because for me, whenever I was doing an OA, traditional OA, like buying brand new products and selling them on Amazon, I was in the negatives, and I didn't understand that I was in the negatives until I got Sellerboard. And that's whenever it clicked, and I was like, okay, now I got it. You know, Sellerboard laid it out for me, saying, hey, what you're doing is not working. You need to change it up. And I was like, okay, roger that. And that's what got me to books, because I can be positive every week, at least, not every day, but I could be in the positives every week with books. Not so much with OA for me. You know, I know there's a way to do it, but that's a different video. But all right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all next one. Later.